I won't do what my sister wants. Am I wrong? Plus updates. Original post. I, 33 female, have always had a strained relationship with my family, especially my mom. When me and my siblings, 38 female and 35 male, were younger, our standard practice for the weekend was hide anything that could break or be used as a weapon on a Friday night, and put it back on Monday morning before school so no one would notice. If we forgot, my mom and stepdad would come back from the pub and start fighting, and it always went too far. Then we would be left to clean up the mess. So weekends went. Friday come home from school, mom and stepdad go pub, we hide things. Saturday would be as quiet as possible, so we didn't wake them up. They would go out Saturday night, be hungover Sunday, and we would put everything back before school on Monday. It was extremely toxic. Most nights we would hear physical fighting. If we got out of bed, we would get beat. So it was easier to hide in bed, pretend to be asleep whilst being scared, praying you hadn't made a noise. Some days I would cry and get beat for crying. My brother moved out at 13 and went to my uncle's. My mom wouldn't allow me to go as I was her baby girl. My older sister moved out when she was 17 after meeting a boy she fell in love with. That just left me dealing with everything. When I was 16, I was told to get a job and had to give over 3/4 of my wages to my mom, who had never worked a day in her life. When I was 18, I questioned her as to why I had to pay so much, and that resulted in me getting kicked out. Having nowhere to go, I had to live on the streets. My sister lived in Blackpool and my brother didn't speak to me. I never found out why. Now I'm older, married with 2 beautiful children. I often look at them and wonder how anyone could treat their children the way I was treated. I live in Scotland now, far away from my mom. My sister, however, has become close with my mom. After my stepdad died, my mom reached out to all 3 of us and wants to build bridges. She won't admit what she did wrong though. She won't admit to the beatings, the moving house every time social services got involved, the sometimes letting questionable men look after us, and having horrible things happen to me and my sister. She says our childhood wasn't that bad and that I'm being dramatic. I have PTSD from everything she's put me through, and I just want her to be held accountable. But I feel like I'm never going to get that apology I want. I know it won't change what happened. I just want to hear I'm sorry. She wants to meet my children, which I really don't want to happen. My sis is pushing for this to happen, and I'm unsure why. I don't understand the hold my mom has on my sister. We often talk about our childhood, as I thought that maybe I was being dramatic as I was young. But no, she remembers my mom beating us. She remembers my mom letting people violate us and telling us it's just part of being a woman. I don't understand why my sister wants this woman in her life. I don't understand why she wants this woman near my children. It makes me feel angry and sick. I don't get it, but no, I won't get the answers I want. So would I be the a-hole if I just ignored my sister's requests and didn't let my mom in my life again? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. I grew up in an abusive household, turned 18 in a foster care system. Years later, when I was pregnant, my mom wanted to reconnect. She wouldn't admit to any wrongdoing either, even though CPS took us away as a direct result of her actions. And I still wondered if it wouldn't be the right thing to do. Then I had my daughter, and I realized unequivocally that I was making the right choice to stay no contact. Because I would have walked through hellfire to protect my kid from the things my parents deliberately did to me. Drove it home just how messed up they really were. Protect your babies and protect yourself. I was about my daughter's age when my mom dragged me through the house, dragging me by my hair. And when I look at my daughter, I just don't understand how anyone could do something like that to a kid. OP, protect your kids and yourself, and hold firm to the no contact with your mom. My father's second wife did that to me, as well as ripped a chunk from my scalp. And she's the main reason why I continued to keep my hair short nearly 30 years later. Not a-hole, your mom gave you a truly appalling childhood. You have no obligation to rebuild any relationship with her, especially when she can't even acknowledge, let alone apologize, for what she put you through. Your sister remembers all the abuse you remember, yet she's happy to spend time with your mother and even wants to push you to do the same? I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in her mind. You're absolutely not wrong to say hell no and protect not only your children but also yourself. In order to spend time with your mother, you would surely need to submerge all the valid feelings you have about your childhood. That doesn't sound healthy to me. Wishing you best. Love bombing? My sister tried one too many times to get me to call our bio mom, and I finally had enough and told her if she continued to harass me about our bio mom, and reminded her if I felt harassed and asked her to stop before then it is harassment, that she could join her in no contact land permanently. My sister knocked it off, and fast forward 7 years still has not brought it up, and loves being an auntie to my kid, dog and cat. She's very easy to persuade, one way or the other when she wants to make people happy, especially people loving on her. But she also has a brain, and knows I am very cold-hearted towards people who wrong me. Even at my advanced age and after many years of therapy, I still struggle with the emotional scarring and flashbacks caused by a very bad childhood. Because the complex PTSD remains so present in my life, I made a conscious decision to expunge the spawners a long time ago. One of my brothers, when the male spawner was dying, decided to take it upon himself, undoubtedly with the encouragement of his meddlesome cow of a wife, who'd already had a go at me to effect rapprochement. Because, family. I warned him off in very strong terms, but he persisted, so is now gone too. The thing is that we don't have to explain what we decide to do to protect ourselves. And we certainly don't have to put up with interference from people who don't live in our heads. Edit. So I've just seen my post on TikTok, and that was weird to be honest. So I thought I'd answer some questions I read there. 1. My sister has no children and moved back to Leeds a few years ago. My brother has a wife and 5 kids and also lives in Leeds. My brother has no contact with my mom, but her wife talks to her and sends her pictures of her children. No one in my family know where I live, as they all pretty much left me to fend for myself. So when I moved to Scotland, no one seemed to notice. I don't have any social media for this reason. I also don't have many friends, because I'm very cautious about who I have in my life. I do see a counselor and have done for the past 10 years, so I'm honestly doing okay. Anytime I want to see my siblings, I always drive down to Leeds. My biological dad lives abroad. He left when my mom broke his ribs when I was 2. He just left us and has 2 other children with a second wife. I've never met any of them, just email my dad from time to time. As you can tell, I have a lot of issues. And I think that's why I still speak to my sister and brother, as they are the only family I have, and we all tried really hard to look after each other as kids. Now for the first update. So I really wasn't expecting my first post to blow up like it did. I guess I just wanted to feel like I wasn't actually crazy. Feel free to read this on my profile. I showed my husband my post and he got really mad at me. I don't understand why, but he said he was letting everyone know what happened to me when it should be private between me and my family. This felt very odd to me. I guess he told my sister about my post too because she started blowing up my phone and telling me I've made her come across as a psycho. That I need to leave the past in the past. Her words. Apparently, it takes a strong person to accept and move on from someone's mistakes. I'm unsure how my mom is treating us as something I should just brush under the carpet. Anyway, me and my husband got into an argument over this whole thing. He left the house and didn't come back. I tried to ring him, but turned out he left his phone here. Curiosity got the better of me and I'm not proud of this, but I went through it. Something I have never done. And this is where I messed up. We know each other's passwords as it's our wedding anniversary. Guess who is texting my husband? Yep, my sister. From what I can gather, it's been happening for 3 years. I'm guessing that when he goes away for work, he meets up with her. There are pictures of my husband, my sister, and my mom, all in a pub. 3 freaking years this man has been, in his words, picturing her whilst in bed with me, and says he married the wrong sister. He says that she's a wonderful woman for getting over our past when I have to make a big deal out of it. He comments on how my body is disgusting after having children. That I'm fat now, apparently with more stripes than a zebra. Yes, I have stretch marks, but I don't think I'm fat. I'm a size 12 and 5'9". I work out. I try to get over everything, but now I just feel broken. I don't know when he will come back. I don't know what to say when he comes back. I am, however, grateful for my post because now I know that the happiness I thought I had was one giant lie. Damn, sorry, just had to get this off my chest. Me and my kids are gonna be okay. Unsure in what to do. I'm broken. Completely broken. You know what to do. If the house is in your name, put his things outside. I wouldn't even bother trying to get him to be reasonable. You need to get your divorce papers in order, as well as child arrangements whilst he is out right now. Get your passports and all important documents somewhere safe. Make a copy of all evidence of his cheating, because you will need that for the divorce whilst you can. I hope you've done this already. You also need to let your lawyer know that you do not want your children around your mother and sister, and the reason why. Your sister was also a victim, but as an adult, she is choosing to be around a woman who enabled pedos and let her children be violated. Like everyone else has told you in the previous post, protect your children and protect yourself. Get your things together and get out of his life. Him and your sister can be very happy together. You would be an a-hole if you let those women around your children and if you don't divorce him. He is putting your children in danger. Also, petition CPS if they were involved in your childhood for any records on your case so you can show the documented history of your mother's abuse. Don't know if it's possible, but it never hurts to ask. You will need to contact CPS in each place you lived in. I'm not sure how it is for your country, but in the US, each county keeps their own records and files. They don't share information, which is why people are able to outrun social services. If one county catches on, they move on to another county. Take screenshots of everything to do with your sister. Send them to yourself and something like Google Drive. It would be good to have the files backed up somewhere else too. Change your passwords immediately. Do you have shared bank accounts? Transfer the money to a new account at a different bank. Get a lawyer as soon as possible. It might be better to pretend like you don't know about the affair for right now. You need time to get everything in order. Do you own a rent? Whose name is on the mortgage/lease? Not the a-hole. Your own mother is aware your husband is cheating with your sister. I'd be going scorched earth after I got my ducks in a row, Soapy. Totally agree as Trim says. Get your ducks in a row, then go nuclear. I know it's easy for me to say, but I would get sorted with your kiddos and just leave. After some careful home redecoration, like fish in the vents or inside a sofa. Whatever you do, if it gets your own back or behave like a lady, just remember, you did nothing wrong at all. This is all your family, using the term loosely. Take your babies, find yourself, and find a new tribe. You are an amazing person, and you will move on from this, and you will have an amazing life with your babies. Lots of love to you. Keep your chin up, darling. Also, stay away from family. They obviously are not going to protect you. They are protecting him and your sister. You should go no contact with them. Keep his phone. Second update. Can I just say thank you all so much? I haven't cried this much in a very long time, but your comments and messages really have helped. Not sure if you know how much. So after my depressing update, I went to work. I work in a well-known hotel chain and have applied to transfer to another part of the UK. So guess I'm moving soon. I then went home, as apparently I wasn't in a fit state to work. Who knew? I'm just grateful for my boss. She's a lovely woman. I'm blown away by how many people want to help me. Today I went with my boss to social services after taking my kids to school, and we're being put into temporary housing until I transfer. For those wondering about a house, it's rented. So I'm going to have to break my tenancy. I've never had a joint bank account because I never wanted one. Now I see it so that he wouldn't have to cover his tracks. I did have a little pity party, not gonna lie. Now, I'm done being the victim. I'm done being walked all over. I'm just beyond freaking done. I'm angry and want to make people's worlds go up in flames. So I guess that's what I will do. People have commented about my family knowing my Reddit account, and I don't care. Gary and Cheryl, if you are reading this, know that I won't go down without taking you with me. Gary, good luck seeing your children. Social services now know who you spend time with, and I have all the time and energy in the world to fight to keep my kids safe. Like I said, I'm angry. I've contacted a solicitor and a school so they are 100% safe. Don't worry about me. I might not be okay now, but I will be. My purpose is to look after my girls, and that's what I know I'm good at. Someone said the parents you are now is the parent you wish you had, and I believe that's true. I will go to the ends of the earth to keep my baby safe. I will update when I can, once I'm settled. Hopefully with good things. It's 11 a.m. and I feel like I've done so much already. I also should note that Cheryl works in a hospital, who may or may not have had a number of phone calls, telling them exactly what drugs to test Cheryl for. Also, the benefits people have had phone calls about my egg donor being too sick to work, but can go drinking, play tennis, and take drugs. As for Gary, all his friends, family, and work have all had copies of who they spend time with. Not so good for a police officer, I'd say. Anyway, gotta get all my crap out of the house now. Wish me luck. I would consult with a lawyer before anything else, just to make sure that none of the actions you take are illegal, will make you look bad in court, or could help your soon-to-be ex to get custody. Yes, burning everything to the ground would be satisfying, but not if it comes with a bill of losing custody, because your soon-to-be ex/sister will make you look vindictive and unhinged, and will claim that your assault and abuse allegations were just revenge for the cheating. That's what a solicitor is. Yeah, but I doubt she told him everything she's done, or is going to do about vengeance, or he would probably have advised against it. Just read your posts, and you go, girl. Take this anger and use it to motivate you to build a beautiful new life with your kids. Also, as for the whole BS of being the bigger or better person by forgiving someone for their mistakes, that's never up to anyone but the person who was the victim of the situation. Ever. That's always up to the person who was wronged, how long they hold on to things, or if they can ever forgive. No one gets to set a timeline ever. Anger isn't bad. What matters is what we do with it. A lot of wrongs get righted in life when gentle people get good and mad. I agree. I don't understand why people are always so quick to go, no, 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 don't get angry. It is like, why? Not all anger is negative, and not all anger is explosive. Some of it can be really cathartic, and we're all going to feel it at some point in our lives. Several points. Feeling like we have to keep it in and aren't allowed to express it is when it gets into dangerous territory.